The only way to prevent Pahalgam is, one, you have to stop infiltration across LOC in Kashmir. When you see people who were asked to pull their pants down and then killed on the basis of religious identity, nothing could be worse than that. One needs to have a much faster preemption and prevention, but the reaction should be equally strong. Asim Munir, the man who hates Hindus, the man who is actually believes that Kashmir is the jugular vein for Pakistan. If you hit at India, there is a huge domestic audience within Pakistan that loves you for that. Pakistan is a global jihad factory and continues to be that. The Pakistani Lashkar, the main players are still principally active. Jaish-e-Mohammed continues to be active in Bahawalpur. Pakistani objective per se is very clear. The objective is that anything that harms India is in its interest. So for that, they will reach out to China, they will reach out to US.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all. You're watching Hindustan Times and my name is Aisha Varma. 1 year after the Pahalgam attack, we look back at this tragedy, its aftermath, and the lasting questions it raised for India's security and response. We now turn to HT's executive editor, Mr. Shishir Gupta, to bring us more details. Sir, namaskar. Sir, it has been 1 year since 26 innocent Hindus lost their lives. They were singled out. They were tourists. They were gunned down by Pakistani Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists in Baisaran Valley in Pahalgam. Looking back, what lessons are to be learnt from the entire attack?
Aisha, the single most important lesson that comes out of it is that, there is a cost of terrorism. And when such an attack takes place, a whole lot of things come into motion. The fact remains is, if you look at what happened 1 year ago in Pahalgam, everything in the hindsight is 2020, but you really look at it and then you see that, one, we should have better intelligence. Better intelligence leads to preemption. Better intelligence and enforcement leads to prevention. Better enforcement and battle tactical capabilities lead to better reaction. And then finally, what you see is investigation of the incident. But the cost of the attack is humongous in the sense that, innocents get gunned down. There is a ripple effect. Families are destroyed. The country is to face humiliation because of a rogue state on our western borders. You see that you have to put in more effort in the sense that the cost increases. And ultimately, you have to also look at, did we make people who did not react or who could not preempt or who could not sort of prevent the incident accountable to what happened? Now, looking back at 1 year and what has been happening subsequently on terrorism, particularly with this government since 2014, what you see is that the political leadership is willing. The political leadership is willing to empower you, willing to give you all capability and everything. To my mind, it is the institutional leadership which has to come up and deliver on ground. Because at best, the political leadership can do is empower you. It can't go on ground. Those who are on ground, like, the JK police, when I'm being very specific to this incident, the JKP police, which was handling the area. I mean, the police station was just mere 6 kilometers. I mean, you may say that the terrain was rough and so on and so forth, but then you were prepared for that. You've been there. Then there is a CRPF. And the Rashtriya Rifles, which is handling the counterinsurgency apparatus. Then there is intelligence. And then there is the army, which is on the border to ensure that infiltration does not take place. Now, if you look at this incident, what you see is that these three terrorists who have been identified, cross-checked in every way possible legally, they were from Pakistan, from Lashkar-e-Taiba. I mean, they may call themselves the Resistance Front, but that's what they were. The first person, that is Faisal Jatt, had infiltrated into India somewhere around 2023, 2022 from the Gurez sector. The second person, Hamza Afghani, again had come through the same sector through the Tulel Valley. And the third person, whose name is Gibran, had also come from the same North Kashmir sector. Now, the first person, that is Faisal Jatt, was handled by a man who has been the bane of Indian security in Jammu and Kashmir. This guy operates by the name of Sajid Jatt across the LOC. He was his main handler. And then this group was there and had been operating in that area. They had come infiltrated from that area, moved to Pir Panjal, and then gone back to this area somewhere around October 2024. And then the incident took place. I mean, the incident was horrendous in every way possible, and it was a brutal massacre. Essentially, by identifying all those were Hindu males and then killing them in front of their own family. Nothing could be more dastardly than that. So, what you look at it is that, this incident, everybody knew that they were terrorists who had infiltrated. In fact, there was a meeting on April 3rd last year where this whole business of, foreign terrorists operating in Jammu and Kashmir was discussed in Srinagar. About 60 or 70 of them were there. So one should have been, it's easier said than done, but one should have been better prepared for it. So that, and our reaction should have been much more stronger. I mean, no way can we allow the forces not to come in time. And no way can we allow the terrorists to get away. See, these people who did the attack on April 22nd were ultimately neutralized on July 28, 2025 in Harwan forest area of Dachigam National Park. So this entire period, in the interregnum, they were all at the upper reaches of the valley in the glaciated areas, and they continued to survive, so to speak. Now, this Faisal Jatt fellow was a former para commando of the Pakistan Army, and the other two guys were equally trained. I mean, they had the best of weapons, AK-103. One of them had a M4, M9 rifle, and these people had GPS, everything, and they were talking to their handlers across on satellite phones as well as ultra high frequency sets. So, looking back, what you can say is that, one needs to have a much faster preemption. I mean, and prevention, but the reaction should be equally strong. I mean, there is no point in innocents' blood being shed first and then we sort of investigate the case. We did neutralize those people, but at what cost? At the cost of 26 innocents. So, I think we should be prepared for a much better reaction and for much better prevention. But the first thing that lies is we have to take a look at infiltration to ensure that that is stopped. Then next step is the counterinsurgency, and the third step is the local reaction that should have come at that place and was found wanting at that particular point of time.
Sir, the Pahalgam attack came after an anti-Hindu hate speech which was made by the then General Asim Munir. Today, Field Marshal Asim Munir is being feted as an honest mediator of the ceasefire between US and Iran by the US President Donald Trump. What has changed for Pakistan and Munir?
See, the only thing that has changed is that Asim Munir has got promoted from General to Field Marshal. Asim Munir, the man who hates Hindus, the man who is actually believes that Kashmir is the jugular vein for Pakistan, the man who believes in, that Kashmir is the unfinished agenda of partition, the man has not changed. He is what he is. I mean, he thrives, survives on his objective, which is to hit at India. Now, even if you look at now, what are the two things that are happening? I mean, all this whole business of reaching out to US, whether it was during Operation Sindoor or whether it is happening right now in Iran, what is it? His objectives are twofold. Anything that hits, damages India, he's for that. Second thing is to get more money. Now, all you hear right now, as far as Iran is concerned, that Pakistan paid $3 billion to UAE, got the money from Saudi Arabia, got the money from their cryptocurrency, petrodollars. This is basically money, deal making, and doing what his objective is. So Pakistani objective per se is very clear. The objective is that anything that harms India is in its interest. So for that, they will reach out to China, they will reach out to US, and they will reach out to anybody for that matter, Turkey, anybody for that matter. So as far as Munir goes, I mean, one should be very clear as what we are dealing with. We are dealing with somebody who basically hates India. And this was not only revealed during his April 16th speech. He subsequently also spoke in the same year in August when he had gone to Tampa for the retirement of the then CENTCOM commander, Michael Corella. Again, he repeated virtually the same thing. Now, the fact remains is that if you hit at India, there is a huge domestic audience within Pakistan that loves you for that, right? Let me tell you something very interesting. You know, then Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who wants actually peace with India, actually did not mention the word Kashmir during the UFA summit with Prime Minister Modi way back in, I think, 2015. I mean, he was penalized for it. So if you have to survive in Pakistan, you have to be anti-India. And that is what the geniuses who promote Aman Ki Asha in India do not realize. You have to look at what the truth is. And the truth is that they hate you. That is, the leadership, political and the military leadership hates you. There are very few people who are actually wanting some good ties. But as far as Asim Munir is concerned, he is very clear. And there should not be any doubts. I mean, President Donald Trump is using Asim Munir for his own purposes. See, as far as Asim Munir goes, Asim Munir will be feted by President Donald Trump because he serves his purpose with Iran. But look at what Pakistan is all about. Asim Munir is mediating with Iran. The same Pakistan army is promoting a Sunni group called Jaish-e-Adal to attack in Sistan province in Iran. And Iran retaliated for the same by launching ballistic missiles against Pakistan in Balochistan. Right? You look at what Pakistan has been doing. Pakistan has always played the role of arsonist and a firefighter. And that the Americans should know for a long, long time. The only thing is that they also play tactical games. I can take you way back to 1950s, where Pakistan allowed Americans to use U-2 spy planes to spy over China. Now the same China is now the Iron Brother. You look at US and Pakistan. US used Pakistan again and helped Pakistan support Pakistan during the 1971 Bangladesh liberation struggle. You look at US and Pakistan. Pakistan played both sides with Taliban and with US post 9/11. So Pakistan has been playing these double games for multiple years. And it is for President Donald Trump to realize it. But then, again, everybody is into deal making right now. And Munir thinks that he can make the best of deals. That's what Munir is all about.
So, sir, are terrorist groups like the Lashkar-e-Toiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed still thriving in Pakistan?
See, the terror setup in Pakistan is alive and kicking. It's not only Jaish-e-Mohammed or Lashkar-e-Toiba, which are prime groups with the main objective of targeting India in Jammu and Kashmir and in the hinterland. What you can see is that the Pakistani Lashkar-e-Taiba, the main players are still principally active. Jaish-e-Mohammed continues to be active in Bahawalpur. And these are both Punjab-based Pakistani Muslim groups. And their focus is purely India. Then there are groups which are targeting Afghanistan. Then there are groups which are targeting Iran. Then there are groups which are targeting US. So Pakistan is a global jihad factory and continues to be that. So just by saying that I'm going to mediate or broker peace with Iran, that doesn't help you. Everybody knows what you're all about. And the Pakistan terror factories are alive and kicking. That's what the fundamental point is. And you will see a next attack will prove it. Because these groups cannot be just kept down. I mean, these people have been now let out and they will attack whosoever they think is the target or whosoever they've been tasked to target by the Pakistani ISI.
So while there have been reports on India-Pakistan Track 2 dialogues by diplomats suggesting that India and Pakistan need to talk, is this even a possibility?
See, Aisha, I am not somebody for Track 2 dialogues. Track 2 dialogues basically are basically junkets for retired bureaucrats and retired military people. I mean, they are somebody whose shelf life is over. Track 2 dialogues do not lead to anything until and unless they are empowered by the political leadership. And I do not think that Narendra Modi government is interested in doing any Track 2 dialogues with Pakistan. Okay. Fact of the matter is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had the guts to land up in Pakistan and meet Nawaz Sharif on December 25, 2015. He went there to attend the marriage of a relative of Nawaz Sharif. And what did he get in return? Pathankot on January 2nd, 2016, where Indians were killed. And the attack was by Jaish-e-Mohammed. So to say that, this is basically delusional. If you think that you can talk to Pakistan and change Pakistan, then there is something wrong with you. It's like the Americans who started to think that if they tie up with China, they'll be able to change China into a democracy. They failed miserably. And the Republican leadership, which did this by this man called Henry Kissinger and Richard Nixon in 1970, 50 years later, they admitted that they had failed. China today is biting on the heels of US to become the number one power, and they do not know how to deal with China. Similarly, with Pakistan, it's better to deal with the absolute facts, absolute truths, rather than sort of living in this cloud saying that actually Pakistan will change. Pakistan will not change because its leadership will not allow it to change. And the society is so radicalized that they're not interested at all. So you can do Track 2 in 5-star hotels in maybe Dubai or in US or in Thailand. But also remember one thing, all these Track 2 are promoted by the Western democracies for a long time. So there is more than meets the eye. There is somebody else who's playing the game in this.
So given that Field Marshal Asim Munir has the support of both the US, apart from its all-weather ally friend, China, do you think that the US will go soft on Pakistan and terrorism?
See, Pakistan, particularly Asim Munir and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who's virtually been reduced to a sidekick of Asim Munir, they have done a lot with the US, whether it is Iran, whether it is cryptocurrency, whether it is, doing side deals, right? With Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. So you will see that US will like to pay Pakistan back. Now, whether that payment comes through, giving more loans from the IMF, whether that payment comes through giving more loans from the Gulf countries at the behest of Americans, whether this could be meaning that US may give more weapons, missiles, planes to Pakistan, or whether it helps Pakistan in case it is in dire straits after any terror attack that happens anywhere in the world or in India. So definitely US will have a soft corner for Pakistan, but I do not think that it will have a soft corner for Pakistan, particularly if a terrorist attack takes place either in India or anywhere in the world. Because US relationship with India is equally strong. Nothing has changed in that also. See, when everybody sees Pakistan and US talking, they think that, the two have really gone close. But let me tell you, Aisha, one thing. The US-India relationship holds very strong, and it will be detrimental to the bilateral relations in case President Donald Trump is seen to be soft on Pakistan on anything that happens against India, particularly a terror attack.
So, coming back to Pahalgam, what can be done to prevent another similar incident like this from taking place?
The only way to prevent Pahalgam is, one, you have to stop infiltration across LOC in Kashmir. I mean, there cannot be any excuses for that because there is enough army on the LOC to prevent, despite acknowledging the fact that the terrain is very difficult. Very difficult, glaciated at times, very bad terrain, mountainous terrain is there. Second thing, you have to strengthen the CIA grid. The CRPF and the Rashtriya Rifles have to act very strongly to ensure that these people, the terrorists, are continuously under pressure and they are not allowed to regroup. When they are under pressure, they'll run. If they're not under pressure, they will sit, plan and execute. Third thing, the overarching thing is getting better intelligence from Pakistan. Getting better intelligence within Kashmir to know where they are and how they need to be neutralized. So you have to have better counter-terrorism operations over there. And then you need to have better ground support, that is of Jammu and Kashmir police. Ultimately, the eyes and ears on the ground are the Jammu and Kashmir police. They have to not only pass on what they're picking, but also react if an incident takes place. You cannot wait for more than 2 hours while these people go massacring and butchering people. So the only way out of it is to just sort of put pressure on them so that they do not regroup. And in case something is happening, there has to be a preemption in that. I mean, human rights is all very good to talk about. But when you see people who were asked to pull their pants down and then killed on the basis of religious identity, nothing could be worse than that. So the only way out is you have to have a very strong institutional leadership of all these areas. They need to give directions to ensure that people deliver on ground. Because the political leadership per se is absolutely clear, whether it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, or Home Minister Amit Shah. They are very clear. They want to empower you. The only thing is you need to take action. And the only way out is continuous pressure, preemption, and prevention.
Sir, thank you so much for joining us and providing us with much more insight on what has taken place and what will take place in the future. Now, with that, it's a wrap. But with this episode of Point Blank, we also remember those who were lost last year in the horrific Pahalgam terrorist attack.